All right, it says we're live. Let's see if we okay, we're live. We've got people in the chat already. Let's see who's here. We got Lenny's here. Amy, hello Amy. Susan, Christine, and Joanne. All here for our a little Saturday Night Live. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. We kind of lost track of time a little bit, so Noreen's upstairs. Eddie is upstairs. Let me turn the light on here so you can sort of see. There we go. Excuse me. So as soon as they come down, we've got a few things to talk about tonight. Mayor Dan's here. What the hell's is here? Jeremy. Hello, everybody. Harvey. James. Okay, so we had kind of a busy day today, but we'll let Noreen jump in on the action when she comes down here. And I'm just going to talk about what I did yesterday, which is I went to a house with Rob and his Second Sense crew, and you guys saw the video of the house in I think it was Berea. Me and Jeremy and Rob and Noreen was there too. Went through. It's probably been 2 months now, and that house was amazing. The basement was full of pressed steel toys, die cast, you name it. And I bought quite a bit of stuff from the second auction out of that. And I went through another house with Rob yesterday, and it was, I'm thinking better. He kept asking me, he says, is this better or not as good as the Berea house? And I just, it's got to be better. As we went through it, it's like it's a lot better. So Dolphin says we're echoing real bad. I don't know. Can everybody hear an echo? We shouldn't be echoing at all. Should be a nice clean signal. I turned the volume up on the microphone. I can turn it down a little bit. Maybe take some of the echo out. Hello, Edward. Lay down. Turn the Eddie cam on so you can see. Lay down.
Get your butt over.
Come here, Edward.
Hi, everybody.
So we went through this house. I was there for maybe a couple hours. Just filming with Rob, and I had to leave, and they were.
Ooh, it's chilly down here.
Well, yeah, you got the air conditioner on.
Oh.
There goes Edward in his Eddie cam. Point it up a little bit so you can see it.
You're in the spotlight now,
He's
dog.
in the spotlight. See my knee there?
Well, yeah, of course the air conditioner's on because it's like 90
Yeah, it's
degrees
like 90
out.
degrees
Yeah.
outside.
And of course you get down here in this basement and it.
It's always cool down here. I like hanging out down here in the summertime. But anyway, we went through this house, and I was just shaking my head at all the cool stuff. And Rob was sending me pictures later. I said, just take everything. And I don't care if you think it's worthless. Take, because there's like a bunch of like Tonka toy parts and like half trucks and things like that. So I'm really excited for that auction. Can't wait for that.
Well, you already had fun. Another one. Tongue-tied, guys. Well, you had fun at Rob's auction today.
Well, I bought some stuff off of the auction that Rob had today, yeah.
And
I didn't do quite as bad as before. The last one I bought off of Rob, I spent $800 and some dollars. This time I spent, excuse me, a little less than $400, and I don't think I bought anywhere near 99 lots. I was paying a little bit more per lot today than what I did last time, but we still got some really good deals.
oh yes.
So I was telling our fans here about our day-to-day and what Edward had to do.
Poor Edward.
Which I guess started Wednesday.
Started Wednesday. So Wednesday, I'd say probably late morning or so, he was hacking. It was like he had something stuck in his throat. He was trying to get it out. He was trying to get it out. He was trying to get it out. And then early afternoon, he started doing this, like he was
like coughing. He
was coughing. He'd be laying there, and all of a sudden he'd go, huff, huff. And he did it all the rest of the day Wednesday. Now, we were a little concerned because we've never had a dog that would just, so we kind of wondered what was going on. He was trying to hack up something earlier, then now all of a sudden, now he's acting like he's got coughs. So, well, let's see how he does tomorrow. So we got up Thursday, and he was still...
You can see my foot more than anything. Go ahead, keep going.
And he would just, it would be like, go half hour, and all of a sudden he'd be huff, huff. So I called the vet, and she said, well, what we can do for you is on Saturday, if you come here about 11:20, we'll try to squeeze you in. Oh, look at that look. Oh, look at that look. Oh. So yesterday we woke up, he was kind of fine, and the vet's office called...
Well, Thursday. You already talked about Thursday, right?
Thursday,
okay.
Yeah. When I called the vet and I scheduled the appointment. And he was still doing it for the rest of the day. And then Friday morning we got up and he seemed to be fine. But the vet's office did call and say, we're just calling to confirm that your guys are still coming in tomorrow. I said, yeah. I said, he's feeling a lot better today, but we just want to get him checked out. So we do take him to the vets today around... We got there
11:20 when we got there.
Yeah, I think what they were doing is they were going to fit us in as they were closing, because they closed at noon on Saturday.
Excuse me.
And Dr. Andrews looked him over, and he's got tracheal bronchitis.
So he's on a bunch of pills.
And then of course we revved up for the next 6 months with his the heartworm and the Lyme and all that disease and the...
But he hasn't been going out much lately because it's too hot outside for one thing. They said to try to keep him
better
in.
It's off for keeping him in. But yeah, so he did have something. We never had a dog have that before. So
well, we've had a lot of really weird problems with dog health.
Yeah.
Between Sammy's cancer and Roxy and her Cushing's disease. I don't know if we've ever mentioned this, but when Roxy in 2020, now you guys know she passed away this year. But in early 2020 or mid 2020, she was diagnosed with Cushing's disease, and they put her on a medication. They said she's only going to be around for a couple more years. Once they get Cushing's disease, they don't last more than a year or two. But you can get another couple years of life out of her if you give her this medicine. And the medicine was $100 a month.
$100
starting out, and then it got more expensive from there. And she lasted, almost 5 years on that.
So, again, wrecking the charge card.
Wrecking the charge card, yeah.
But, like I said...
Well, luckily, I don't, I put a lot of stuff on credit cards, but I don't...
Well, it's,
Oh, Pamela Lynn's here. Christine's here.
Everybody's wishing... Yeah, he should be feeling better soon. They did give him a shot of something else today, too. And hopefully he'll be back to his old self. But I'll tell you, I think for the next week, nobody's leaving the house if they don't have...
Well, I've got to go out next week. I got to go pick up my auction wings Monday from Rob's place. I've got to work Monday. And I've got some work to do the middle of the week. And I've got to go pick up our new car Tuesday.
Did you get another car?
I got another car.
You got another car?
Yes, I did.
You got another car?
Yep.
You got another...
It was in the thumbnail. I only buy them wrecked. And the way I've been doing it this last round, because we gave one of our cars to our cousin, so we needed a spare car again.
We don't have a spare car.
And I've just been putting in these ridiculous lowball bids on, I've probably bid on a dozen cars since we gave her that car. And I bid $600 on this car, and I didn't know I won it until I was done working with Rob Friday, because the auction was at probably about 10:30. And when I got done working with Rob, I picked up my phone and I checked it, and it said I was awarded this car. So
you gotta go take care of that.
I gotta go pick that up Tuesday.
Luckily, it's in our neck of the woods. Sometimes we've gone to Pennsylvania.
Oh, we've gone to Pennsylvania. I've gone to still Ohio, but I've had to go to Dayton to pick one up.
Yeah.
A lot of them are in Pennsylvania though.
Yeah. So at least this one's around the corner.
Yeah.
So that won't be too bad. And of course, our daughter calls today. Yeah, she is going to officially be out of her apartment at the end of the month. So she goes, "What are you guys doing next week? I got her most of it
Well, at least
done."
she gave us a week's notice.
Yeah, last that she calls her, "What are you guys doing today?"
What are you doing right now?
What are you doing right now? You don't have a life, Mom and Dad, do you?
Yeah. You're just sitting there waiting for me to call needing something, aren't you?
She's so cute, guys. So, this past Sunday, it was Father's Day. So she texts me around, I'd say 11, was it?
I don't know what time it was.
Around there, early, late morning. She goes, "Are we doing anything for Dad today?" I said, "Well, let me ask your dad. Are we doing anything, Dad?" And he's like,
"I don't know.
Oh,
what the hell do you want me to do?"
It's your day. So we ended up back at that Mexican restaurant we like so much because it's around the corner and they're open on Sundays. Because if Chinatown had been open, we probably would have gone down there. But so we went out and had some Mexican and.
No, we'd have probably still gone to the Mexican place. I just didn't feel like driving that far.
No, and she gave you a Father's Day card with an AutoZone gift card in there for AutoZone because he does go up there once or twice, 3 times, 4 times a year maybe. And now that you got this other car, you might be going up there to get some stuff to help you fix it.
It's mostly body parts that I need, but
yeah.
I'll still need things from the regular auto parts store for just general maintenance.
So, but yeah, she's cute. She goes, "What are you guys doing?" So we're probably out helping her finish up that on Saturday, and then I think Friday we're planning to. So Thursday, you gonna talk about Thursday? Can we talk about Thursday?
Yeah. In fact, Mayor Dan put something in the show. Thursday, we're going to have. It's not really our meet and greet. It's Jeremy's and Travis's with What You Doing Willis. Mm-hmm. Because Travis is coming up. I don't know when he's coming up, but he's coming up sometime this week. I think
he might probably already be here. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean.
But Travis wanted to do a meet and greet. And we all know right now with way things are going with Jeremy and the What the Hell's gang and George and all. Jeremy was a little apprehensive, as you can imagine if you've been following what's been going on. But Mayor Dan is going to have some of the police crew up at the Winking Lizard in Peninsula, Ohio. And we're going to have a meet and greet with the fans. Yeah. So if Thursday at 7:00, and if you're in the area and you want to come on down, again, that restaurant's name is Winking Lizard.
And it's in the
Peninsula
Valley.
Peninsula Valley.
And it's probably, I always say right across, it's catty-cornered from the police station.
Right.
In Peninsula.
So there will be security
there. There will be security there, and if anybody is... See, here's where I get myself in trouble, because I have to... Most of these people that are going after Jeremy are just stupid. And so...
They don't have a lot.
They have to muster up enough mental fortitude to find Ohio. And then once they get in Ohio, they got to figure out how to get to Peninsula. And then they got to figure out, how can you be stupid enough to do what they're doing, smart enough to find Ohio, and then stupid enough to walk into a place and mess with people
and
with all the cops that are going to be there.
Mess with Peninsula's finest. So, I don't know. But
so it's that odd combination of stupid and smart that I don't think exists. That I don't think we have anything to worry about.
Yeah. But we do give a shout out to Mayor Dan and the Peninsula.
Oh, I can't wait to see Mayor Dan. We haven't seen Travis or Mayor Dan. Well,
we have not seen.
We haven't seen Travis since
2 years,
over 2 years.
Yeah, and Rob's going to be there, and I don't know who's all going to be there, but yeah, there'll be a bunch of us YouTubers there, and if your fans want to stop in and say hi, and
well, we're going to stop in and say hi. We want to stop in and say hi to Travis anyway, and we'll probably get something to eat while we're there. Now, I don't know the details of how much space this is going to take up. Half Mil Time to Grill was really carefully planned, in advance. We knew exactly how many people are going to be there. We don't really. I mean, I don't know. It's none of my business anyway. It's between Jeremy and Travis and the Lizard. I don't know how much space we're going to take up, whether we're like getting a room there, because they've got like different rooms in the restaurant. There might be like a private meeting room or something, or a private dining area or something that we might be able to get into.
Yeah, and Winking Lizard has all that bar type food.
Yeah, they used to have actually have a lizard there.
They did have lizards until somebody got ticked off, because Winking Lizards was several different restaurants around the Northeast Ohio area, and they would have a lizard. He would be in a nice aquarium. It was nothing, but some animal group got upset about it. So
yeah, I mean, the lizard was living his best life. You know what I mean? But
so they had to remove the lizards.
Yeah.
But the food's good. If you like wings and other things, they got.
I've never had a bad meal there.
No. So come on out and say hi to all of us. We'd appreciate the love, I guess.
Just if how should I put this? There's not a lot of parking there. I guess there's enough to handle the restaurant, but if they get like overflowed to where there's like a waiting list to get in, even if it's just a waiting list for the general dining area, I guess my advice is if you can like carpool or something. I don't know what options people have to get down there, but
I forget that I have the app on my phone actually, because you pay.
Well, the app on your phone doesn't do any good because you don't get any reception there anyway.
Well, I was able to pay for my parking. I was on it. Yeah, you can pay for parking, but it's done
I
online.
never could. I always tried to.
Sometimes in the valley it does get a little hectic with the cell reception down there. But I made a point, because sometimes, like I said, that's usually where we'll go down there, and if you got to pay for parking, at least the app's on my phone now, and I can go in there and pay. So, but but the food's great.
Yeah, it says don't forget it costs to park on the street, and there's only maybe half a dozen or so spots on the street you can park anyway, but they're not like regular parking meters where you'd put like a quarter in or something. They're like app based.
I wish I had my phone down here. I would give the website name, but
yeah, I mean they can figure that out when they get there, I guess.
So we're all geared up for that. And then Friday, we're going to take a drive down to Rogers to check out the lay of the land since they've made changes, because we will be there on Friday, July 4th. So we got to start thinking about getting ready for that.
And again, we wouldn't do this except they closed the area down where we used to set up our stand, and they turned it into parking. Now we're at a different place. And I just want to go and make sure I know what I'm doing when I get there. So just kind of go scope it out and look for some deals. But then
look for deals. Yeah, you look.
Yeah,
for,
man, I don't want to.
Look for deals.
But
Friday.
I don't want to spend a whole lot of time there because there's other things I can do Friday to.
Right, there's things I always. Yeah. Let's see. I am one item away of getting 500 items in our store. So.
Oh well, you better get that 500. You better do it before somebody buys something, because we'll only have 498 items.
So yeah, there's definitely a lot of the stuff we got from Rob's auction a month ago. I've got the tractors and the NASCARs and all that. I got a big chunk of it. Just when I thought I was getting to the end of it, he goes and buys more.
Well, that's the idea. You will never get to the end of it. There will always be a pile of stuff for you to list.
There's piles of stuff.
Always.
Oh, I know. You love it. You love. You come home. You see me working away. You're just a happy camper. Yeah. And it's so cute now. Eddie's caught on to my new routine, and I mean he'll hang out in the kitchen with me in the morning as I get the dishes cleaned up, and then he'll go and sleep, and then I'll go put listings together, and then when I go to take the pictures and I set the little studio up in the living room, he'll come out and hang out on the couch with me and and watch me as I'm taking pictures. Yeah. He's a wonderful little dog. Yeah, keeping me company. So
Christine asked Conky, how is your new worker doing? I don't know, and that's the beautiful part. I don't have to stand there over him. He's been doing this for years and years, working for another person that's in the same business I'm in. Technically, you would call him my competitor, but I mean, I actually helped put the other guy in business because I couldn't handle all the business. Mm-hmm. And
so he just wants more hours and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was I'm not going to get into the reason why he's working for me or anything as far as what went on outside of me. But I'll say this: I had the opportunity to give him some work, and I'm grateful for that opportunity. He seems to be working out.
Yeah, because you were down here a lot this week working on the next restoration video.
Yeah, grab that piece right there. That piece right, just to the right of the knife.
This?
No, way over there. You have to get it.
Oh, I have to move.
It's the grill in the bumper.
Oh, that thing. Okay.
Yeah. So
you should see this mess over here, guys.
Yeah, I've been.
It's like a mad scientist.
So I don't know if I can show you this. Let me see if I can get the mouse to work. So the thumbnail for the next restoration video is. Let me bring it up. Go ahead and talk while I'm doing this.
Oh, talk. Oh,
yeah, say anything.
Say anything.
Anything you want. Talk about.
Say anything.
Wasn't that a movie?
In your eyes.
Oh, is that okay? I'm looking for the D drive.
If you all know what movie that's from, good for you. Oh, what else went on this week? Trying to think of what did I do this week besides work.
Oh, it's in here somewhere. Did you work?
Did I work? Yeah.
Don't forget. Don't be afraid to shout out when you know. Where is it?
Oh, we call that a Velcro Dog. Well, you know what? I love my Velcro Dog, Lenny. Lenny, I hope you're doing well. I've been thinking about you, praying for you. Hope you're feeling better.
Velcro Dog?
Velcro Dog. Well, that's all right. You, what do you get a dog for? You want a buddy. You want a dog to hang out with you. You know? You know, that's, and cat people don't prefer the clinginess of a cat.
Well, didn't somebody take a cat back once because it was too much like a dog, I guess?
Oh, it was too loving. It was
too loving.
So they took the cat back to the area, the program or shelter where they got the poor thing from.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, you found it? Okay,
yeah, I found what I wanted to show.
Okay.
So, the thumbnail for the next video is that right there. That's the truck that I'm restoring right now. And you see how the excuse me, the bumper's all smashed and rotted. Well, this kind of sucks, but I restored the bumper and lost the footage. Look at how nice and shiny it came out.
You lost the footage.
Yeah.
How did you lose the footage?
Technical difficulties.
Oh. Yeah.
But there's going to be plenty of other footage on the video. It's probably going to be a 40-minute video. I'm going to try to.
Yeah. So you spent
trim it down a
time
little bit. I guess, long story short, I spent some time. Working on my
that's
restorations
you want to
again.
do. You want to, do some.
And that's things. One of the reasons why I wanted to hire the guy to help me out.
Right.
They call it buying your time back is what they say.
Plus, he's like 15 years younger than you too. So
yeah, he's a little younger than me.
Yeah, that helps. Because I know what he does, man. He crawls around on the floor.
Work. It's not easy work.
Working on the machine, cleaning the machine. I mean, there's a whole process when he does a preventive maintenance session with these customers of his. And
now somebody else gets to do it there.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yep.
So
I'll be throwing him more work, and I still have to go out and do things. I'm still fairly busy. You know what I mean? But it's nice to have somebody working for me.
That does help, and I'm sure he's appreciative too. So. Just keep your fingers crossed and prayers that this is a good relationship.
Well, like I said, I've known the guy for a long time. We're not.
That's what really helps too. So a stranger, it's.
I mean, I haven't really known. I've known him for a long time, but it's not like we see each other every day or anything.
You just know of him, and it's okay. It's all good.
So we're at almost 8:30. Isn't that about time we do the state of the bread?
State of the bread. Oh, yes.
Okay, you guys put your guess in what you think the state of the bread is.
What's the state of the
bread? What
is
the state of the bread?
Yeah, go ahead. Put your guesses in. We don't want to...
It says it looks like it hit a fire hydrant. I don't know what it hit. These Tonka trucks go through a lot of abuse before I get them.
You personally know this, don't you? Because you did it.
Well, I mean, I don't even know where I got that one. I mean, I buy this stuff on eBay. I get it at auctions. I get it from Rob. I get them from,
Roy. You've bought
Roy,
a bunch of
Roy, I buy them on Roy's auctions.
Truck of the, Oh, you don't have one back there right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they're over there.
Okay.
Okay, so we got third. Oh, we got full. Okay, start with Pamela Lynn. No, starting with Cat's Tiny Kitchen. Gone. Janet says a half a loaf. Pamela says frozen. Amy says full loaf. Edward Harding says a third gone to 2/3 left. 4 slices gone, half loaf. 4 slices left, quarter loaf. Harvey says full. 1 slice of toast for Eddie, says baby cornball. And Joanne just says Conkys bread, and it shows a picture of a half loaf with a big smile on it. Tongue hanging out. Jamie says rising. Sarah says none. We've got some good guesses tonight.
Well, someone's pretty close.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Pamela says frozen. That's a good guess.
That's a good guess.
None is a good guess. The state of the bread is bagels from Dunkin Donuts. That's the state of the bread. Because I didn't have any this morning, so Noreen went and got me bagels.
Yeah. I had every intentions of baking a loaf for him yesterday. But I had to go and help my stepmother with something that was important, and I didn't get a chance to do it. So I told him I'd get up this morning and I would go to the Dunkin Donuts.
And we're not putting bread out today because we got bagels.
enough bagels. Tomorrow I'll put it out.
We'll put bread out tomorrow.
We'll put bread out tomorrow for you, and then you'll have a fresh loaf for Monday morning's breakfast.
Yeah, so keep in mind what that's going to throw us off for the week. So I don't know how many, I don't know what the state of the bread is going to be like next week.
But he does have, I did pick him up some Black Forest ham and Swiss cheese. So in addition, you could be making yourself a sandwich.
I may be making some sandwiches.
So we don't know what the state's going to be by Saturday. We have no idea.
It's hard telling.
And you know what, guys? Okay, so I went to Dunkin Donuts this morning. I got 6 plain bagels. Okay, and then I got a half a dozen donuts. My mouth is about dropped when she says I'll be $16.87, please. $16.87 for 6 bagels, plain, no cream cheese,
no cream
nothing,
cheese or anything.
just plain, not even cut. Conky does not like them cut.
Yeah, I'll cut them myself where I want to cut.
Right, that way it stays fresher, you know. And 6 donuts. $16.87.
Not even not even big special donuts. These are just
right. In fact, usually I have 2 Dunkin Donuts I can go to now. They're close to home because of one over on the east side of things opened up, and that's the one I went to. And they didn't have as much a selection as the other one on the west side does. But I thought I'd go there because sometimes you go there, they don't have the bagels, and there's a Panera around the corner. So I was trying to, save from going back. And, So, but $16.87.
Well, I was out working yesterday. Normally, I try to make it home to eat lunch.
Yeah.
I try not to eat lunch while I'm out working, or if I know I'm going to need to eat lunch while I'm out working, I try to take a Lunchable with me and some crackers and a couple waters. I don't like buying lunch at any place that I could buy lunch at when I'm working because it's all going to be either Wendy's or McDonald's or Burger King or some other fast food hell.
Fast food hell.
So I wound up going to a Burger King. And I ordered 2 plain cheeseburgers.
Just cheeseburgers,
a Hershey's Sundae pie and a medium frozen Coke. It was $10.33.
I remember when we could go to one of them places back in the day. And, of course, we're going back, guys, to the 80s. For $10, we could both have had a couple of value meals.
Yeah, and got change.
Now it's $10 for 2 cheeseburgers, a piece of pie, and an icy drink. $10. But yeah, $16 and some change for 6 bagels and 6 donuts.
Hence why I don't go to fast food restaurants. And it's not just that. It's just I probably already eaten enough fast food for a lifetime, so I'd rather.
$23 for a dozen cream puffs? Are they big at least? Or are they tiny? Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just.
It's hard for them to really be able to show you how big a cream puff is.
Well, I know where I can get a huge.
A big cream puff to one person might be a small cream puff to somebody else.
No, I know where I can get a huge one. Remember that run restaurant down over down there over South Side there, that Waterloo restaurant. They have.
Oh yeah.
I think I brought that.
Oh yeah, you get one cream puff would feed 4 people and you still wouldn't finish it.
I think I was nursed on that puppy for a week.
Edward says, I remember 10-cent hamburgers and 15-cent cheeseburgers.
Yeah, my dad was like that too. He used to tell us, yeah, back in the day, this is back in the 50s. Yeah.
Well, there was that one.
I had a quarter. You could get a cheeseburger and something to drink and some fries at Mickey D's. Yeah.
Well, there was that movie, The Founder, where a guy walks up, Ray Kroc walks up to the first McDonald's and says, yeah, I'll take a cheeseburger or a hamburger and some fries and a Coke. It'll be 15 cents. I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah, back in there.
So I hands him 15 cents and hands him burgers. What's this? But anyway. Well. Yeah, fast food used to be fast. It used to be cheap. And it used to be convenient. I guess was the is another way of putting it. It's no longer fast. It's no longer cheap. And it's not even good anymore.
No.
So.
But as I was walking that Dunkin Donuts, they had 2 drive-thrus, and people were there getting their coffees and funky drinks.
Well,
I don't know. That's the state of the world now. But if I'd known it was going to be $16.87, I may have done something else. But now I know, and yeah.
When I was in college, my McDonald's had a special. My frat brothers and I ordered 100 cheese hamburgers. Did you eat them all? I remember one time, one of the guys that I hung out with.
This is back. This is back in the early. This is before me, I think.
Yeah, always before I met you.
Usually before me. So we're going back, guys.
Early '80s.
Mm-hmm.
My one buddy Rod, who I've talked about on the show, it was more like his friend. His guy's name was Todd, and we bet him that he could not eat one of every McDonald's burgers, or was it sandwiches?
Whatever their sandwiches were.
Yeah, one of every sandwich. So he had to eat a hamburger, a cheeseburger, a double hamburger, a double cheeseburger, a quarter pounder with cheese, a double quarter pounder with cheese. Because there were separate items on the menu. And it might have just been the hamburgers. I don't know. Because otherwise it'd just been like a fish sandwich and a chicken sandwich. And so we went in there and we literally ordered all this food at the same time. The deal was he didn't have to pay for it. We paid for the food. And we were betting him, I think I bet him like $10 or $20 or something like that. And there was 3 of us betting him. It might have been what was the other guy? The guy that was
Greg?
Huh?
Greg?
No. The guy
Andy?
Yeah, it was Andy.
Okay.
It doesn't mean any of you guys, but so there was 3 of us betting him. So he probably had to cover like $60 or $70 worth of bets. And so we sit down there, and he starts eating a cheeseburger, then a hamburger, and he's got all this pile of food. And McDonald's called on to what we were doing, and he might have had a time limit, but it wasn't like. So some of the food had gotten cold, and the McDonald's came out, and they replaced as he was eating it, they were replacing the cold sandwiches with warm sandwiches.
Oh, this would have made great
which was nice
videos of him. Now. Great content.
And
now.
he got to the point where he had maybe eaten 5 or 6 hamburgers or something like that, and he finally just threw the hamburgers down. He reached into his pocket, grabbed a pile of money, and just threw it on a table and said, "You guys win." And he just got up and left. I'll never forget him just taking all his money and just tossing it on the table. You just win. Goodbye. I'm done. I give up. But yeah, they were at least good back then. You know what I mean? Tasty.
Probably at that time, probably 85, 95 cents to a buck.
And if you took a 1985 Big Mac and set it up against something today, they wouldn't even look the same. You know,
yeah, they wouldn't even be as.
I mean, the patties, you can about see through the beef patties now. So.
Yeah. I mean, that was, we could go out to dinner.
Of course, that's a sign that we're getting old. We're complaining about how things aren't as good as they used to be.
They're not as cheap as they used to be. Yeah, we're at that point in our lives now, honey.
I mean, I realize that we make more money now than we did back when in the mid '80s when you could get a Big Mac value meal for $2.99. But
Cynthia goes, when I go to McDonald's to get a drink, a Coke, $2.24. Wow. And most it was probably 3/4 or a cup was probably ice.
Probably ice.
Yeah. Welcome.
Night, Lenny.
Night, Lenny.
So, I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about?
No. What's going on?
Well, now's your chance. I mean, we could stay on until 9 o'clock. If you guys have any other questions or anything, it used to be a Q&A is what we call
questions.
It. I mean, I suppose anybody could just type something in the chat.
I think they've all heard our spiel by now. But all I know is today's the first full day of summer, and summer has shown up with a vengeance. We don't get eased into the 90-degree weather. We get dumped into it like a pool.
Right now is like the longest day of the year, or would have been yesterday.
It could have been yesterday, but it's still, it's gonna start, dusking around 9:30 now for at least a few weeks, and then, And
I know the sun comes up at like 5:30 in the morning now.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. I don't mind getting up early, but it gets Eddie up before it gets me up. And I don't know if we've mentioned this or not, but in the mornings, the sun comes up, and he'll.
Oh, he's ready.
Of course, me and her are asleep. He comes up to whoever's hand he can get to, and starts licking the hand.
Starts his routine.
If that doesn't wake whoever the recipient of the hand lick up, he takes his paw and he starts pawing at the hand. Well, that usually wakes us up. So I'll wake up. I won't even open my eyes. I'll wake up and start petting him, and he'll accept the pets for a while. And then he wants his rump scratched. So he turns around and he sticks his butt
on your face,
near your face, and he expects you to scratch his rump. So you're trying to scratch his rump, but you're like, so he sees that your hand's bunching up. So he slowly moves forward so you can reach his rump comfortably. And then when it gets to the point where you can scratch his rump comfortably, he stops and sits there so you scratch his right above the tail is where he wants to be scratched.
Well, a spot they can't reach,
Yeah. Then if you stop, he starts all over with the licking and scratching.
Oh yeah.
And until somebody gets up and feeds him.
Basically, if you move like you're getting up, he's already jumped off the bed. He is into the kitchen, and he's waiting by the refrigerator where his bill jack is.
Yeah, and he looks at the door and looks up at you, and looks at the door and looks up at you.
And his ears are perked up. Oh yeah.
Like, can I be any more plain about what I want? The bill jack's right there. Put it in my bowl. Bill jack's right there. Put it in my bowl. I can't even see yet. I'm lucky I hit the toilet. In fact, I'm pretty sure I don't half the time. I can't even see yet. I'm out there trying to figure out what he wants out of the refrigerator. What?
It's just making me think of something I saw on a Facebook.
What?
This woman goes out to a nice restaurant, okay? And she goes, I've been there before, and it's a nice place, but this time I actually had to use the restroom. So she goes to the restroom, and she sees one of those signs where it's got the guy on one side and the girl on the other side, which means it's a unisex restroom. And that's the only restroom they have. And she's like, don't take this personally, guys, but I really don't want to use a restroom that a man has used, because they don't make it all the time. I don't want to step in it. I don't want to. Oh my God, here we go.
Remember, this was hanging on a restroom at a place in out by Youngstown. This was on a men's room wall. Dear gentlemen, if you have an accident while using the restroom, Please let Larry, crossed out Henry, know so he can take care of it.
Oh,
You
no.
wonder... Makes you wonder why Larry left. No mystery.
Yeah, so she goes, I want to go back to where the guys have their space and where we have our space for, and I get it, But I thought that was funny. And of course, nothing beats that sign we saw outside that auction house.
Oh, you laughed so hard, I thought I was going to take you to the hospital. I seriously thought you injured yourself. And what was funny was not so much the sign. What was funny was what happened later, okay? So this was Jim Stoltz, I-77 auction.
20 years ago.
I got to tell the story.
Go tell the story.
I mentioned Jim on AA, actually. But his guy's name is Jim Stoltz. He's no longer with us.
Great guy.
Great guy. And he had a company called I-77 Auctions. I think it was named that because he was on Arlington Street, and you could see it from I-77.
Yeah.
So he was in like an L-shaped plaza, and he was like right at the crook of the L, okay? But he was like here, and there was a staffing company here. All right? Manpower, something like that.
Yeah.
So we're all, it was a nice summer night, and we're all sort of hanging out outside during, it was either an intermission or it was shortly before the auction, or it might have been after the auction or something like that. We were all just sort of standing outside, and Jim was standing out there. And Noreen sees this sign on the door of the staffing place, and it said, and I quote, "Anyone caught urinating on the building will be fired immediately. Your employment will be terminated," or something like that. And she starts laughing.
Oh my God!
And she's laughing her ass off.
If there's a sign,
you've made it. You know you've made it in life when you're walking into work for a job you're qualified for, and it says, "Anyone caught urinating on the building will be terminated immediately." Okay, that's when you know.
That tells you where you are in life. If you're working at a place that's got to tell you not to urinate against the building.
But here's that's what set her off. Okay, I thought it was funny, but I didn't think it was.
Oh my God!
I mean, I almost had to take her to the hospital for that. Here's what I thought was funny. Jim sees her laughing and wonders what she's laughing about. She points out the sign, and he's, "Oh, those sons of bitches always pissing on my building." And he starts going off.
Okay.
That's what I lost.
So, Manpower is basically a day laborer place. Okay, so you get the idea what kind of people are coming here, and you understand it, okay? But that just tells you where you are in life. If you work for a place that tells you not to urinate against the building.
Yeah, it wasn't until he started going off it.
Oh my God. What, did they have a toilet in there that the people could go to? Maybe not.
Why walk all the way in for a toilet when all you have to do is piss where you're standing? I mean, these are the type of people that are going after Jeremy.
Here you go. That is true. Yeah, that's exactly.
That's why I'm not worried about.
Exactly.
About,
oh my gosh.
Thursday, because they're.
Oh my God.
I bet even the lawyers would have a sign on their legal law offices that say, "Don't piss on the building or you're fired." You know what I mean?
That's the way it hit me. It's like, oh my gosh, where are you in life? You gotta work at a place that tells you not to piss against the building. Oh my gosh. Oh God, I gotta calm down.
You all right?
It still gets me just thinking about it.
Well, you had another good laugh.
Oh my gosh.
Look, I firmly believe that laughter is the currency of life.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I know there's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world.
There always will be.
I can't do anything about it. All I can do is.
In the famous words of Billy Joel, we didn't start the fire, and it's gonna go on and on and on.
I don't want to say I don't care because somebody's going to take that the wrong way, but I prefer to think happy thoughts, spread cheer, and laugh my ass off.
Unfortunately,
you know what I mean?
A lot of the issues that our world deals with, there's not really too much we can do except pray for good outcomes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know where he's going.
Where do you think you're going?
He's probably going to go upstairs and see if we can get into something.
Yeah, I know exactly.
You get your butt back over here and lay down. What do you do?
Ooh. I got shorts on, guys, and he just clawed me. Oh.
Oh, he doesn't know the length of his own
I know.
paws.
I know what he wants, and I got it out of his way. I don't think he can get to it.
What does he want?
Well, we popped in one of those oven pizzas for dinner tonight, and we haven't eaten it all, so I moved it to the stovetop, pushed back against, so he can't get his paws up there.
Oh, he'll figure it out.
But that's one. So Thursday night, you were down here, you were gabbing with the guys on the AA show, and I came down here to interject for a couple moments, and in that time frame, you left your bag of chips.
Here's what I heard. I heard Eddie getting yelled at, and then I heard the sweeper coming on. So go ahead and say what. Go ahead and tell them from your perspective what happened.
So in those quick moments, I came down here just long enough to give you a little sugar. There you go. You have some sugar. And I went right back upstairs, and I heard a boom. I get upstairs, and I go to the living room. You left your bag of chips on your TV
There wasn't that much in there.
But he managed to knock it off the table, knock the bag of chips off your TV tray, and he had it torn apart, and there was a nice pile of chips, and he was, or chip bits, I should say, at this point. They weren't chips anymore. And he was getting ready to dig into it. Now, mind you, he's got that coughing and hacking he was doing. And I go, Eddie! And in fact, I went and I grabbed his collar and threw him in the patio room and shut the door so he couldn't get into it. But he was this close from having a
surprised he didn't like find a way to get it and put it on the bed so he could just curl up.
He's done that. But he's smart. He scoped out the room before you even know, and he scoped out the room. And I know.
Back upstairs?
Oh yeah, he's thinking he's going to get that pizza. I don't think he can get to that pizza.
We'll find out when we go
upstairs. He will try to schnouse the top of the table, see if there's anything else, because he can pull himself up and get stuff off. Nightmare Dan. We'll see ya soon.
Yep, Thursday.
So
we found out the hard way that he has access to.
Yeah, he's smart too.
Now Sammy used to actually be able to jump on the kitchen table.
Oh God.
And
yeah, he gave himself
gotten himself into some trouble before. When Donna was here watching him and Roxy when we went down to Half Mile Town to grill, she left something on the kitchen table, and what we said was she got Sammy.
She got Sammy.
Yeah, she got Sammy.
One time because I remember the first time.
Yeah. In fact, we did do a video. If you go back and look at that video, I think it's still up on my channel. Part of it was we were driving home, and I pulled it off the dash cam.
Oh.
And Donna had called and said something about what Sammy had done. Or we might have been driving down. I don't know. But Donna had called, and the dash cam caught the conversation about her getting Sammy. So I put that in our video. But.
Well, the first time we knew something had been pulled, I just put something there. Where did it go? And we didn't think much of it. Okay, I thought, well, maybe I put it somewhere else. I'm known to do that. But one day I came up from the stairs, and there he was on top of the table. Oh, I said, you just gave away your tricks, dude. Now we know.
He just showed his hand.
Showed his hand. Yes, he did. So, yeah, he could jump on the table.
God, the dog's standing on the table. What are you doing? He's like looking at me like, you weren't supposed to see this.
You weren't supposed to see this.
Everything disappearing off the kitchen table was supposed to be a mystery. You were supposed to think you have ghosts. Or there was a break-in or something. You were supposed to know the dog was up here.
Oh, God.
Because Roxy wasn't getting up there. By then she could barely,
Roxy couldn't
barely get around on her own.
No, she was. But yeah, oh God. So that's what he's thinking. He's thinking he's going to go up there and get those pieces. I think they're out of his way. He can't get to them.
Edward says, I think a new nickname for Edward should be Sir Edward Snackslot. It changes with what he does during the week.
It was Sir Edward Cough-salot this morning at the vet.
Well, I wanted to. My thumbnail was a little clickbaity, but I wanted to make it look like
he
wrecked the car Because anybody who really knows me knows that I already own a car that looks like that. Now I've got another one.
Yeah.
So anybody who's seen my car would think that was my car and Eddie wrecked it. But Eddie was behind the wheel today. He was just sitting in the back seat on the way to the vet. So.
And of course, as soon as we get there, he's got to let all the other dogs know that he was there too.
Yeah.
Like,
he's got to find a place to lift his leg.
Let's go in. It's hot out here. Let's go in. No, I got to make sure everybody knows I was here. He's
in there pulling on his collar and yeah. Well, at least he was hacking a little bit while we were in there.
No, but he's got, and I guess, we heard Dr. Andrews talking to other people, allergies are up for it, pets this year.
Yeah.
Because of probably all the freaking rain we've been having and all the...
Well, you'd think the allergies would come into play if we didn't have rain. The rain should wash all the stuff in the air.
Yeah, but then it helps make plants grow more.
Oh, well, that's true.
So they're pollinating,
Yeah, well, I'm going to
have to
spend some quality time with a weed eater.
Oh, I know, honey. Amongst all the other things you have to do.
Yeah.
There's just not enough of us to get everything done that we need done.
And I've been, haven't done a damn thing with a building yet because I think it's either been raining or it's been wet from raining, and as soon as it starts to get dry and the puddles even think about disappearing, it starts pouring down rain again.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to get my building up this year or not. It's ridiculous. I might just, I may be buying a shipping container or two and doing something with those this year just so I can get something that resembles a building or some sort of shelter or space, put in.
Yeah, I told Rob that I was going to be moving in with him and his invisible family the way you've been buying things off his auction. I'm going to run out of space. Where am I going to sleep?
Well, if I can get some space built, or you know what you could do?
What could I do?
You could just list everything and sell it.
I've been listing it.
You could sell it.
I've been
Start
listing it.
And selling.
I've been listing it.
Keep listing and selling.
There.
I will make sure you have plenty of stuff to list.
Oh, I know. I already have enough of my own stuff. But that's fine. I'd rather get stuff on there.
Just keep listing.
I mean, even now I'm starting to think, well, July's around the corner. I probably should start getting the Christmas stuff listed. Because the way things go, I'll think of it now, and then I won't do it, and then all of a sudden it'll be October, and I'll kind of miss the window to get that going. So I'm going to start.
Just sprinkle it in.
I'm going to sprinkle it in.
Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle.
For a while there, I had a bank of listings I could release. Now it's day to day now.
You take a day off, and look what happens.
Well, I didn't really take a day off. All right. I mean, if anybody wants to add, if you're a prayer warrior, you want to add somebody to your list, you can add my stepmother to the list because she's been having some health problems, and she had a situation yesterday that I had to drive her to the doctors and all that. So just if you want to pray for my stepmom that her health improves on her, that would be great, and I'd appreciate it because she's had a rough time the last 3 or 4 months.
Well, I mean, we look at it this way. The reason she stays home and does eBay rather than goes out and gets a full-time job is it gives us flexibility in the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I could do eBay anytime because everything's here. And my stepmom and my mom, they're in their they're at that point in their lives where they need a little help. My stepmom, my mother's doing great. Keep prayers on that. But my stepmom's been having issues, and I just help her when she needs help because
that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for.
That's
we're here to help each other out, and if I can't help my stepmom out, then who can I help, right?
We come to this earth to learn how to be the best
best
version of ourselves, and that's.
So I was grateful I could be with her yesterday because she needed me,
And I don't have,
that's the one thing about the work that I do. I don't have to beg permission to leave work. I don't have to worry about, a boss and all that. I just go do it, and then I come home and boss myself.
Carrie says, would a Quonset hut be helpful? I had thought about...
Oh, those are funny.
I had thought about putting 2 shipping containers next to each other and putting a Quonset hut over them and having the space in between.
Okay.
I've thought about that. That's one of the things I'm considering doing that I can actually get done this year. Maybe is a couple shipping containers and some trusses over top. But we'll see how it goes.
It's just one day at a time around here, and there's always something going on. You just don't think that we're just two people in this house just doing our day to day, but there's stuff going on. Like we know there's stuff going on with you guys. We appreciate you taking your time out to support our channel and support the other guys' channel. We got Avery's all in with Roy and Lisa. We've got Rob with Second Sense. We've got Jeremy and George with What the Hell's. J&J Family Finds.
KT Treasures.
Treasures. Vandy's Treasures. Yeah.
There's a lot of us out there doing this.
Yeah, so we appreciate you guys taking out your time. And now that we're here at 9 o'clock, we want to thank you guys for taking this hour on Saturday to hang out with us, just to hear us BS about our crazy lives. And
that's what it is. We just BS.
We just BS. And we just want to let you guys know we appreciate your support. You guys have a nice rest of the weekend. Stay cool. And we'll be back here next Saturday night, 8 o'clock on Conkys Flippin Adventures. Night all.
Night.